Hello everybody, this is Aero. Welcome back to the second installment of our how-to series, Helping Others in Houses. You might say, I already know about both of these. No, you need to watch anyways, because a lot of you are still struggling with these. And I'm not trying to sound like an ungrateful jerk here, but a lot of you guys are polishing bushes or motivating roof tile houses, stuff like that. So, let me get into it right now. So, when it comes to helping others, you might notice I always say this is my stone circles, my blacksmiths, and then once, like, God forbid, math, 15 people here help me, and it's overnight, and if I get 15 people to help me overnight, I'd be seriously impressed. But let's just pretend that 15 people help me with my blacksmiths and my stone circles overnight. The last ditch ever would be just throw it on coins, because there's nothing better to put it on. So let's go into how to set. Well, actually, let's go how to read. So, if you look here at, I think it was Rodham's? No. Here. Nope. Jim. Yeah, Jim. So if you see PSC, that means polished supplies coins, and that's how I live my life, guys. The reason I don't just put PSC there is because I specify I want my stone circles polished over my bushes, because bushes give you 20 per polish, per polish, and stone circles give you 182. If I can get this to show you. Also, Task Manager is probably a good thing to do right now. So while Task Manager is popping up, I'm going to go ahead and go further into like how to set them and how to read them. So I'm going to start with how to guesstimate. When it comes to, let's say high Middle Ages, you might be wondering, Aero, I don't know what this stuff is, okay? And that's me right now. I don't know what it is in the High Middle Ages, but I'm still capable of helping everyone in the High Middle Ages. How, you might ask? Well, let's say someone says polish. Let me show you a really cool trick. Not tick. Ticks are bad. Don't touch ticks, kids. You might notice this 3x3, right? This is one. If you press polish, like if I go to someone's house right now, and I click polish, a little silvery star is going to pop up above it, which I will demonstrate now on Kicknicks. And you can tell, okay, well, these obviously can be polished, can't they? And then you can look, okay, well, generally speaking, here's a star, by the way, but generally speaking, these items are 3x3 instead of 1x1, you know? So you can say, okay, it takes up more tiles, therefore, generally how that works is that now, okay, it takes more tiles, now I know it's I can't even formulate a sense here. It takes up more tiles, so it has to be better than the thing that's 1x1. Now, the reason why you might want 1x1 is because you got a 3x1 gap, you have nothing to put there, and you just want something to fill it that's useful. Pardon me, I had to get my cat off my lap. So, going on from that, let's talk about houses and supplies, buildings. So, when it comes to houses, we're going to go to the Bronze Age, since all of my viewers can relate to the Bronze Age, because everyone pretty much understands what a stilt house is if you're watching this. So, when it comes to houses in the Bronze Age, you have stilt houses, chalets, thatched houses, and huts. Pardon me. We're going to be talking about huts and stilt houses and chalets, I still don't know how to pronounce them. So the difference between a hut and a stilt house is the hut has 6 coins in 5 minutes, and the stilt house has 11 coins in 15 minutes. What that means is that the stilt house gives you 11 coins in 15 minutes, as mentioned, but the hut gives you 18 in 15 minutes. So why would you ever want the stilt house, you might ask? Well, let's say you go to bed, right? And you wake up, you have a hut. You have one hut, you now have 6 coins. If you had one stilt house, you'd get 11 coins overnight. So, where I'm going with this is, if you have, say, a chalet or a chalet, however you want to pronounce it, you would have 80 coins overnight. Wake up and grab them, and that's a really good thing, man. So it's really hard to say what's the best. And also, let's take a real quick look at population before we go on this tangent about what's the best. So, these give you 22 population per tile, or per 4 tiles, and these give you 14. So basically what I'm trying to say is, when you're focusing on a certain house type to make your city, you want a mixture of all 3. The middle one's mainly for population, which would be a stilt house. The hut is mainly for coin generation, and then the chalet is mainly for bulk coin generation, meaning a lot of coins at once. So, when it comes to which house to pick for your city, there's a bunch of factors, and these factors include your playtime. What times are you on? How often of a break do you have in between? Um, Another factor is your population. Do you have enough population? For me, because these houses I currently have fit my needs, I don't need to worry about getting cottages because I can already have 4 production buildings and my soldiers barracks, along with all my blacksmiths and my Bronze Age troop places. Um, so like if you're stubborn about it and you don't want to upgrade your houses to say cottages and you don't want to get iron working and jewelers and stuff like that, you're gonna have to, what's the word I'm trying to look here? Sacrifice other things. Like, let's say I had 30 less population. I might have to get rid of 3 blacksmiths, or I might have to get rid of a military house to get one of my goods buildings. So you can see where I'm going with this. So when it comes to houses, you really got to take into account your population, your demand for population. Also, your happiness. Do you have enough happiness to supply all cottages? If you don't, you might not want to do that. You might want to just stick to how many houses you have. Like for me right now, great example. My extra happiness right now is 14, so I can't afford to put down the 2 houses I have space for. That's why they're not there right now, because if I did that, I'd actually end up losing out, because I wouldn't have the 120% productivity bonus. So, you gotta take that into account. Your happiness, your population, your time you're going to be on. Also, another thing, which I'll throw in the production buildings right now. If you look at my blacksmiths and my potteries, we're going to use those because, again, everyone can relate to this. So if we look at our potteries here, we have roughly 4.2 supplies per tile, because it's 50 per hour divided by 12 tiles is roughly 4.2. So that's 4.2, and the blacksmiths are 32 per tile. Let me highlight it. There you go. 32 per tile, or 32 per hour with 4 tiles, which comes out to be 8, because 32 divided by 4 is 8. So you're getting 8 supplies per tile per hour with these. I chose that way because I'm going to be active rendering in between recordings, just setting this up. And you might say, well, how active can you really be? I just set them for hours individual, because that's how often I play. I can come on once an hour, do my things, log off. But other than that, you got to take into account how much population does it cost. These cost 41. My blacksmiths only cost 12. Another thing you got to take into account with potteries is they're not very universal. Meaning you can't just stick a pottery like right there, because no, it's 3 by 3. You don't have a 4 by 3 zone. Yeah, you can stick it there, but you're gonna have to get rid of like 2 or 4 blacksmiths to put 1 pottery there, and actually you'd have to get rid of you'd have like an entire row of emptiness right here. So you'd have to either move that road in one and change your entire city. So you gotta take in space, you gotta take in population, you gotta take in your playtime. There's so many factors, so there is really no way to say this is the best house for you. This roof tile house is the house that every single person in the Iron Age should have. Because I can't tell you that. It depends on your playstyle. So I hope that clears things up for you guys. Last thing I'm gonna go over is how to put what you want. Like you see when you highlight someone, you might get PSC. The way you do this is go through your town hall. This should have been early in the video, but I forgot. I'm sorry, I just remembered. And go to profile, and then right there is right here is where you would put it. I put it at the bottom of my text, so you can easily just look and see. So that's that. Also, you can put good requests so people know, okay, he needs this, and this is what he can produce. So that's all I gotta go over for today's how-to. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next. Take care. Bye bye.